I have my opinion. I don't need a nostalgia
No,
tickle
no,
by having every
nobody's
Pokemon.
saying you're not allowed to have your own wrong opinion, Brad. It's no big deal.
I feel like this is a common thing with you fuckers.
What, criticizing you?
Agreeing?
No, you guys like taking my opinion and saying I'm not allowing you to have this
No,
opinion.
we're allowing you to have it. I just said that. You're allowed to have your wrong opinion.
It doesn't sound like it.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion, whether it's right or wrong. In this case,
Also,
it's
Luis
wrong.
Peradilla got his ass kicked again. 4-0.
Well, he didn't.
All right.
I'm sure that he didn't play the best.
Welcome, everybody, to episode number 54 of 1868 Weekly. I'm your host, John Macaluso. Today, rocking the Culture jersey. I told you people I buy one, and none of you believe me. Nobody on Twitter believed me. Even the one true god, Kevin Bass, needed proof. So, here it is. Here's proof, everybody. I feel pretty good today, despite being exhausted.
Good.
I am joined today by these two gentlemen that, if you watch the show, you should know very well by now. Neither in Culture jerseys, but that's okay because they look good anyway. Let's start with Brad Polonsky rocking the facial hair, but it's not a beard.
No, it's not a beard. Who cares?
No, I dig it.
Who cares?
I never. Oh, he's so defensive, Matt. It must have
As they
been
do facial hair, it's facial hair. It doesn't matter.
rocking
Yeah.
the mustache like goatee combo. I think you actually do have a little bit on your cheeks. I can't really tell.
Yeah, I
But-
do.
Not too shabby. I like it.
Mhm.
How you doing, Brad?
I'm doing good. I've been playing the new Pokemon game.
Cool.
And you know what? No matter what people say about it, it is a good game.
I'm
right.
glad it's a good game. That's all. That's really all that matters. All that matters is that you feel like it was worth your money. Even
It
though
was like I got it at Walmart, dude. Walmart sells games like opening day for $10 off. So
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I didn't know that actually.
I'm a
That's
nerd.
pretty
Yeah,
rad.
it was like $50 instead of 60.
I opted to get a certain Star Wars related game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I am very, very, very satisfied for the first time in like 15 years with a Star Wars game. Also joined today with a beautiful background, as usual, the one and the only Matt Rafferty, who has a full face of fur.
Oh yeah.
Not as
I was
full
worried
as-
it wasn't going to be here.
Not as full as it has been, but it'll get there, and then you'll have to shave it again for the mask. How
Yeah.
are you doing today, Matt?
Dude, I am doing good. I'm feeling all right, and like the season's finally over, so we can focus on the off season
Yeah.
and the silly season. I'm good, man.
Cool, good. You have a background. First
do.
of all, though, it's hilarious because we're talking about both of your guys' facial hair, and you're both covered by the windows of the three of us. There you go. See, there's Matt. I just think it's funny because my fat face is always front and center because I'm egotistical. But you both are always hiding behind the faces of us or the boxes from Google Hangouts. See, there's Brad.
I think that's a little better now.
Yeah, you're peeking over it a little bit.
right.
Brad's.
Here, I'll
There
move
you
my
go,
camera a little
Brad.
bit.
Well done. Yes, this was a hint. So okay, cool. So it's really great to be with you guys again this week. Matt and Brad, thank you guys for covering for me last week.
Yeah.
And let's get back to this background. All right, so this is not the knockoff of Matt's own game. So this is the original. Where the hell in Nevada is Matt? Brad, would you like to take the first guess?
Oh,
This
it
is
would
a
be
toughie.
I'm
I'm
honored.
telling you.
Oh,
This is a
man.
toughie. One road, nothing really nearby.
Beautiful Nevada
Are
sunset.
we in northern Nevada?
Seriously.
We are in
Okay,
northern.
northern
Oh.
Nevada.
Ooh. I'd say it might be more central.
Oh, jeez.
Oh man, that makes it harder. I'm
Mhm.
gonna guess is this 395 or whatever the road is, 95.
Like on the way down to Vegas?
Yeah.
I-80.
No.
No.
That's 95, but nope.
Mm.
Well then I'm going to guess that this is somewhere outside of Ely.
Pretty dang close, actually. What do you say, John?
I have no idea.
If you want to narrow it down from
Yeah,
there.
no, I have no idea.
Okay, well,
So yeah, I'm
this is-
outclassed on this one.
This is in the vast nothingness that is between Eureka and Austin on Highway 50.
Loneliest
And
road.
it's the loneliest road in the country, and as many times as I've driven it, I can guarantee you that name stands true. There's nobody out there.
It is a really nice picture, though.
It's beautiful, but yeah, nothing.
All right, so we still haven't. Actually, you know what? I think last week you're on the right side, Matt. Thank you. Last
Had to fix
week,
it.
or not last week, a couple weeks ago, I think I guessed Mount Rose right, but that was for Brad, so I don't think that counts.
Yep.
I think for Matt, neither of us have gotten it right yet, Brad. So we got to step up our game.
I was awfully close.
Brad, you were pretty dang close. I mean, I'm still probably that's only like 100
Yeah.
miles or so from Ely, but in the grand scheme of things, with as big as Nevada is, that's pretty close.
Okay, so for John, like the point of error is like half a meter. In
Hey,
order to get
I
it
guess
right.
Nevada. Okay.
Close enough.
All right.
I mean, that is the name of the game, but guessed it.
So let's talk a little bit about what's on the docket today, because we don't have a whole lot really to talk about. I mean, we have the USL final, which we are going to talk about, right? I mean, it doesn't really make sense not talk about. I think we could talk a little bit about the what happened today, some sort of MLS draft. The only reason I looked at it was the super draft, right? Is that what they call it? What do they call it?
Or is it the expansion?
Expansion draft. There it goes.
Yeah.
I did make sure that none of our players were affected. So
They weren't?
no,
Nope.
no.
Okay, good.
So yes, very good. Matt Bersano's name was on there. A few other big names. I think Jimmy Ockford's name was on there.
Partita.
Yeah. So unfortunately, no one took Eric Avillo. But
or Tarbell.
yeah, right. But so we could talk a little bit about that. And then Matt had mentioned that he had some stuff he wanted to talk about as well. Brad, I don't know if you do, but we could totally talk about that. So why don't we go ahead and get started? We had the Monarchs against Louisville.
Louisville, yeah.
Did we? I know I predicted these two in the finals, and I think Brad may have.
Nope.
Nope. Oh, I was the only
Nope.
one?
I've been wrong.
I
since,
said
like-
Salt Lake was going to take it all. I didn't necessarily call Louisville.
Well, then you lose. No, I'm just
Uh,
kidding.
I think I had a perfect bracket. If you think that perfect means I get everything wrong, like literally, I don't think I got one
Hey,
prediction of any game right.
I mean, that's still right.
pretty
That's
astounding,
right in
yeah.
the wrong way.
And I did do the reverse psychology. I said last week it's going to be a 3-1 victory for Louisville, that they were going to three-peat, and
that's true.
Totally put in air quotes. Congratulations on your season victory, Monarchs. Got the score right. I do not get anything for it, but like a fake pat on the back. There we
So,
go.
did this?
Yeah, but you did kind of call it.
Did this game go the way that you guys thought it would? Clearly, Brad, not in your case, but were you surprised at all?
No,
No.
honestly. When I kind of did meme it and say that Louisville would win, just because I kind of expected them to lose
Right.
and hoping they would lose. But no, I'm not really surprised. Salt Lake is a pretty good team, and they peaked at the exact right time of the season.
No doubt.
Beating Phoenix twice towards the end of the year, beating Orange County, who looked like fire when they were entering the playoffs too. And it wasn't even a close game against Orange County. And they looked good throughout, maybe minus that one El Paso game where it wasn't very high scoring and went into the 120th minute. But convincing performance against Louisville. Absolutely convincing.
Definitely. Matt, what are your thoughts?
I thought it was a really good game. I thought it was tight. At least if you look at the shift in momentum and how much each team did have momentum throughout the game. At the beginning, though, Louisville scored that 6-minute goal,
Yeah.
and that was the quickest one in a finals history. And I was like, this is it. That it's going to them. They're going to get the three-peat. Damn it! But they did have full momentum for the first, I want to say, 15 minutes. The ball was only on their attacking side, and somehow Salt Lake, they released the butterflies, and they came back. They stormed back really, and took complete control of the game. Second, I guess the last 20 minutes or so of the first half was theirs, and then really they didn't give Louisville a lot of chances in the second.
Yeah, I'm glad that you were also kind of concerned about that first goal from Louisville, because I was as well. Chances are against the team that doesn't score first in USL finals. So that was really concerning. I remember seeing it and being like, "Oh crap!" Like East is gonna take it again. But Monarchs didn't give up, and the more the game went on, the more that goal kind of seemed like I don't know, maybe I wonder how the game would have been if Louisville hadn't have scored that fast. Because it's almost like that little fire under Salt Lake. Kind of like what you were saying, Matt. So yeah, I mean, I'm really happy with the Monarchs winning. I mean, hats off to you guys. Congrats to all the fans. And I had one more point I had to say, but it's kind of slipped my mind in thinking about like the 35 different things going through my head. Yeah. You know what I was gonna say is Matt kind of I doubt he was the very first person to coin the term, but he was the first person that I heard coin it, and that is that the West is the best earned conference. And so shout out to the Monarchs for proving that, because the West is where it's at. Nobody wants to be in hurricane-ridden East.
Yeah, well, not only that, but it's the West and an MLS 2 team that everybody gives crap about, and they don't want them in the league because they say that it's lower quality. But what is it? The last 5 years, MLS 2 teams have won it 3 times.
Yeah.
So I don't know what everyone's talking.
Twice New York. Twice New York.
Twice New York. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And yeah, there are some some bad eggs that need a little snipping to get out of here, but there are some very competitive teams who not only develop talent for their MLS sides, but really put on a good show and know how to play the league. So you really can't put too much criticism on these kind of MLS 2 teams that actually know what they're doing.
Just how much do you want to wager that, the argument's now going to be MLS players in the USL, it's kind of tampering the league? Because I think it was something like 5 players from the Real Monarchs played in that championship final game, whether it be starting or substituting on. 5 out of 14 is a big deal. So
sure, but it's also these are players that have already put in their time and have been cup eligible. That the coach was smart enough to play them throughout the season. It's a long game. We're talking 10-month season. If you include the playoffs. Yeah. So you got to play the long game, and the coach did, and he was able to have these RSL players available that were not getting minutes with RSL. So if you look at them more of kind of cusp players, they're in between. They're top USL players, maybe bottom feeders in MLS. So they do have their place there. And if they follow the rules, there's no reason why they shouldn't play.
Why doesn't anybody complain about minor league baseball?
That's the way it's always been.
So because it's not the way it's always been for the USL and MLS, it's not okay?
I would just say, it's the way it's always been, and the minor league baseball system doesn't really advertise itself as being its own league entity. It kind of advertises itself, at least so many times I see, come watch your favorite MLB players on their rehab starts,
Yeah, that's fair point.
While the USL is their own league, they just so happen to have MLS 2 teams. And I know that they want to rat that out eventually, but it's there.
Sure.
So
okay. Sound enough reasoning. I was just curious about that. All right. Well, I don't really have much else to say that I haven't already, to be honest with you guys. I'm pretty happy with the Monarchs taking it. Could be worse teams in the West winning, and I'm glad Louisville didn't three-peat. And life goes on. We look forward to the 2020 season, which is going to be here real quick, guys. So,
It's going to go quicker than you
yeah, do you
think.
remember how fast last offseason went? Crazy.
Oh yeah,
Crazy. Any final thoughts?
I thought that Real Salt Lake looked pretty good on the counterattack. And that's I think where they won a lot of this game is just, biding their time and then all of a sudden just springing themselves on Louisville. So definitely a good game.
Matt.
yeah. I got a couple just final points. I want to give it up to the fans for both teams. I know the final number did include the pre-sale, but apparently when the tickets for Louisville fans went online, all 7,000 were sold out in 96 hours or something like that, or 96 minutes. I'm sorry, 96
Oh,
minutes.
dang.
Um,
Okay. I was like 96
so
hours. That's not that.
yeah, I was like that's a long time. What am I saying? I mean, I was going to say hour and a half, but I wanted to give the actual number, and that's really impressive. I don't know how many of the season ticket holders actually took advantage of the pre-sale, but you gotta think that's at least a few thousand that went up like that.
Yeah.
So like people were excited for it; they wanted to be there, and also for the Monarchs fans, they traveled hard. They had at least 60 70 fans out there, but they did have the advantage that the Monarchs front office allowed them on the chartered flight with the
Hmm.
team. So not
Oh,
only do you get to
nice.
hang out with your players, you get a super cheap flight out
Yeah.
to halfway across the country.
That's really
So
awesome.
that's super
Yeah.
cool.
Cool. Yeah.
So hats off to the fans, hats off to the front offices for making that happen. And like that's the kind of environment you want to see for a final, minus the bagpipe guy. Kick him out, ban him for life. All right. If you want to play for a couple minutes here and there as a little shtick, that's cool. But God, 90 minutes of bagpiping, I can't do that.
How's that different from Vuvuzelas or
Just as bad.
Greg?
Just as bad. Vuvuzelas too.
Okay, fair enough. Although I can, you got to appreciate somebody who will play a bagpipe for 90 freaking minutes. That's insane.
That's got to be tough.
Yeah, no
But
doubt.
still, screw that guy.
I love it. I'm all for it. Although I'm sure it's a completely different experience having him like right next to you. So, yeah, I mean, hats off to the Monarchs. I really hope that next year we find ourselves in that position. And
please.
yeah, definitely. And let's go ahead and move on to talk about whatever soccer related crap Matt wants to talk about. Matt,
Yeah, because I always have too many things.
I mean you do, but it's good. So what are we talking about today? What's on the agenda?
Okay, well, kind of sticking with the final
Mm-hmm.
at the halftime show, USL President Jake Edwards had his usual interview that where's the league going? I guess it's kind of a informal state of the league, kind of like Don Garber likes to do every year to prop himself up. But apparently, I mean, I know there's been whispers of it, but there was kind of a hard yes that promotion relegation is in the works for the USL system, and that is super cool. I know a lot of people have been clamoring for it, and a lot of people are excited from him actually saying like, yes, we are working on it. And I don't know how far into the future we're talking here, but we might actually see a lot more, I don't know, theatrics and stress that goes into the season, which makes it a lot more exciting. I'm excited for that. I can't wait.
I am very good or bad, depending on how you want to say it, at not believing in things until they actually happen, and that's one of those
Okay.
things. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just everything with a grain of salt. It's that journalist mentality. I think. Don't believe in anything until it's right in front of you. What do you think about
That's
that,
fair.
Brad? I mean, like, don't get me wrong. It's something that I want. It's just I don't know that. For me, I don't know. I don't know that we're there yet. To be completely honest, what do you think, Brad?
I would love the league to take the direction of figure out 30 teams, both East and West Coast, play as one giant league. 30 is a lot, but you get what I'm saying. Have one giant league without the split between East Coast and Western Division. And, pro relegation is probably the best tool to get there to just one big giant league. Unless you want to start kicking out teams or have a 40-team league, which, you would play each team once and that wouldn't be feasible at all. But that's kind of where I want the league to go, is just get rid of Eastern and Western Conference. If you're not going to have any meaningful games outside the final between the two conferences, how can you say that these are equal? Or how can you say that we're one big league if you're basically two smaller leagues? I want to see one giant league, and I think Pro Rel is the way you get there. Just immediately.
So here's the only complication I see
Yeah, I
with
know.
that, Brad, is the United States is a little bit bigger than many other countries who just
know.
have one. And when a team from Florida is not going to want to have to consistently get up to Portland, Oregon, I think travel is a really big issue as in any sport, especially though the smaller sports that don't have as much money. Like traveling may not be a huge deal for the NFL or for professional baseball, maybe even the NHL. But for the USL, I think it may be an issue.
So then
For
give
a
me a
while.
league. Give me a league where we at least have an interseason tournament or something. And
It's called
one
the playoff,
game.
dude.
Well, yeah, but one game between the East and the West is not enough. That was a good game. I thought it was a very competitive. I thought it was a very good game that we had this past weekend. I want more of that. You see that a game like that and you want more. It's just I don't know what else to say. Give me
There
more
used
meaningful
to
games.
there used to be a couple of inter conference
Mhm.
matches throughout the season just peppered around, but they kind of did away with that after a couple years ago.
Mhm.
But I don't know, man. Like that's a lot of teams are struggling to just stay afloat, and adding the travel cost of a few an extra 1,000 miles, extra 2,000 miles. That's a big deciding factor on whether or not they actually stay open.
I feel like you can have like some sort of sustainable pro rel within West and East. I mean, that's the only way. Like,
Hmm.
like
Mhm.
maybe
Yeah,
the
that's the
worst
only
team in the
like fair
West,
way.
worst team in the East, drop down to the West and the East of USL one, or something like that. I
Who
imagine
knows?
that's what the idea would be.
Yeah.
Because you can't have two teams drop out from the East or two teams drop out from the West. It would throw everything out of balance as far as the lower divisions are concerned. Because I imagine they have to be split the same exact way, especially in the lower leagues. You can't have, like I was saying, you can't have a lower league team from, I don't know, it just throw everything up in balance, or out of balance rather.
I mean, like it shouldn't be too difficult as long as they, like you were saying, they do lock in the conferences, because I imagine this is just between USL Championship and USL League One, because League Two is amateur. They most of those teams wouldn't be able to compete with having to pay the pro soccer bucks. And I honestly don't think the talent is that different between Championship and League One. I mean, like overall, yes, but there are definitely some wiggle room where there's some teams in Championship that have no business here,
Mm.
and then there are some actually top tier teams that could do pretty well in Championship from League One. So I want to see this, and I know Brad, last week we had talked about the possibility of just once they implement this to
Mhm.
decide to fill out League One this season. It's like, all right, it's just going to be relegation. So the crappiest teams in Championship, you're down to League One, and like that's how the pro rel structure is going to start the following season. I think that would be absolutely chaotic in a great way. I would love to see that
So,
happen.
in example being in 2020, you would just dump the last, like the weakest two to
Like
four.
four,
Yeah,
yeah, I
okay.
take two from each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh God, that would be brutal.
yeah. Like the wooden spoon wouldn't just be an imaginary trophy. Like it
Wooden
has
spoon
Oh,
would
no
be an
doubt.
actual
Yeah.
beating.
Well, and that's what American sports need. There's no punishment for losing anymore. You lose, you get a draft a really badass player. And that's what I don't like about American sports. A lot of American sports. They have like, for example, you guys remember the Indianapolis Colts campaign, "Suck for Luck."
What is it now? Tank for Tua,
Yeah,
even though he's
yeah.
injured.
Tank for Tua. So in American sports, it's like, hey, if you're mediocre enough, you can have this really amazing college player. Or you can have this really good player from wherever he's coming from in the draft. That's what I love about foreign soccer. Is, dude, you end up at the bottom of the pack. You get bumped down to the league below you, and those are huge financial, like that is a huge financial drop in how much money your team's going to be earning. Your team's probably not going to find its way onto like primetime television as much. And there are reasons you never want to be at the bottom. American sports need that, and I think that soccer would benefit from it greatly here.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's a damn decent possibility. So who knows?
Yeah, I'm like, don't get me wrong, I'm in favor for it. I also think that it may take a little bit of time, like a few years, maybe 5 at the most.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, but I love it tomorrow. Like, I love for them to be like, oh yeah, tomorrow comes, and next year the bottom 4 teams are gonna be relegated. So don't suck, or you are in League One. All right, what else, Matt? What else you got for us?
Do you have anything, Brad? Do I want to try to switch shit up? Oh, sorry.
I mean,
It's fun fact.
My bad.
That a couple episodes ago, I did not edit out the cuss word I said. I wanted to see if we get dinged for it, and we have not. Not that I'm saying we should like cuss all over the place, but
oh darn.
but I'm just saying I think one expletive getting out will be fine.
Okay.
And I'm also like lazy.
Let's roll the dice.
I'm also super lazy. So, all right, Brad, you got anything you want to discuss?
I mean, I completely missed the game because I was not at home. I was shopping, but the U.S. played Cuba today. You know, I'm not surprised by the outcome 4-0. I got nothing else to add. I'm literally just filling it for you guys.
Filling
Sorry.
in for you guys. Are you not
It's
part
the-
of the show or what?
It's the off season. It's the off season.
I know. I was just throwing it out there. I
Yeah.
didn't know if you had. I didn't want to like hog all the airspace. You know.
Oh, please hog it all you want. I enjoy hearing what you say and then
Oh, thank you.
contributing my opinion, which you guys then say your opinion sucks.
Only
Your
about
opinion
certain
only
things
sucks
Pokemon
during
related.
certain topics. So
Okay.
so get this. I don't know if you two have been keeping an eye on the comments, but I've been talking
I
to
have.
Roy, who says that apparently there is a very talented bagpipe player.
Nice. Hey, I don't have a problem with bagpipes, but when it's put on the field mic and you can't escape it for the entire time.
Oh God!
That's different.
I really hope that we get some bagpipes in Greater Nevada this year. It's just pure, unadulterated power, Matt. Just power.
Dude, I'm half Irish, so I half enjoy it.
I am not. I mean, I'm Italian and Mexican, so bagpipes are definitely not in my blood. But I love them. I love them. Nothing gets you as pumped, I think.
a good just ripping bagpipe.
No doubt. We got the. I'd love that. I'd love for that to be the the renegade instrument. You guys have the drums, right?
Yeah.
And imagine being like a visiting goalkeeper. Being like, okay, so apparently bagpipes are part of Reno culture. Okay.
1 minute you're having obscenities screamed at you by a Scottish man. The next minute someone else is playing a bagpipe.
It's brilliant. I love it. I love everything about it. In fact, you'll probably have obscenities and the bagpipe screaming at you at the same exact time. So-
Yeah, why would you have it any other way?
That's perfect. I love it. I love the idea. So yeah, Roy, if you're still listening, definitely get that set up. That's one thing. When I talked to Eric about what new things are coming to Greater Nevada Field in like January-ish, I want that to be one of the things. The Renegades will have bagpipes. Oh, that's awesome. All right, so other topics. I wanted to mention the fact, and we kind of already did, I guess, talk about the fact that we aren't losing any players in the expansion draft. And the two teams joining, correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen, Nashville and Miami.
Yes.
Cool.
Enter Miami.
And let me, I had a list in front of me, but I was a fool and I accidentally closed out of it. But let me load that back up. You know, for some reason, and this kind of shows you like the general state of worldwide soccer on ESPN, there was a picture of Ronaldo and Messi, like literally as the thumbnail.
Let me guess, had nothing to do with them.
Oh, of course not. No, but they just happen to be the most popular.
Clickbait.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably the two only players that every American sports fan knows.
I got
So,
it ready for you if you want.
Yeah, let me switch the camera to you if you want to just throw out who was chosen. It's a
Here,
very short list.
Here. So we have.
Oh, we can't see
for
any of that, Brad. You might as well just put it back on your face.
All right. Stop screen share. Cool. So for Inter Miami, let me move this over here so I'm looking into the camera. We have Ben Sweat from New York City. We have Alvis Powell out of Cincinnati. Lee Nguyen out of LAFC. Luis Argudo out of Columbus. And Brian Meredith out of the Seattle Sounders. For Nashville, Abu Danladi from Minnesota. Zarek Valentine from the Portland Timbers, who they immediately traded away to the Houston Dynamo for a goalkeeper, Joe Willis. Jaleel Anibaba from the New England Revolution. Brandon Vasquez from Atlanta United, who they immediately traded to Cincinnati for money. And then finally, Jimmy Medranda from Kansas City.
Shout out real quick to MLS for having those little side notes on there that you're reading.
Mhm.
The little asterisks. Oh, by the way, this person was given away right away. No, that's some solid reporting. Big names on here, guys. What, in your opinion, is the biggest name that was taken? If you guys have one.
I don't know. It's a meh field to me.
Brad?
I got nothing from this. Like, these are all players that are a lot of the times fringe on a lot of teams. You know, you have a lot of players here who are just super draft picks. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I also have nothing. So, I like these are names I've seen before, but also people that I've never really cared about.
fun note about this, I remember seeing Orlando City had tweeted out saying, "Hey, none of our players were drafted," and the top comment on that tweet was, "No surprise."
Nah,
From
Orlando
them,
City,
no.
brutal.
yeah, you win a spoon, or sorry, no, you almost win a spoon. Sorry, Cincinnati.
Womp womp.
Do you win a spoon, or is it more of like an earn kind of thing? I feel like you earn it, but you don't win it.
I think people jokingly make some, but it's not something that's like passed around.
Right. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, no, I'm happy that we ended up keeping some players. I kind of thought Nashville may have their eyes on Jimmy Ockford, but we got out unscathed.
That doesn't mean that he still can't go by getting bought out. At
Oh,
any
no
time.
doubt, but I'm just saying,
Mhm.
you know. All right. I got nothing.
I got more things.
You got more things, Matt?
Just a
What is
couple.
this, a soccer podcast?
Yeah, seriously, I know. Dude, I got my feelers dipped in all the
Hold on,
USL
let me check what
news.
time it is. All right, you get one more thing to talk about. You got to be
How about I
picky.
rattle off a couple real quick?
You
All
got
right,
one
so
thing, Matt.
Captain America himself, Landon Donovan, is going to be the
What?
head coach
My
slash
man.
VP
Captain
of
America
operations
is
at
Joe
San Diego.
Pavelski.
No, I'm sorry. That's LD, man.
Oh, man.
That's LD.
Hockey is
He earned it after 2014. He's Captain America. So yeah, that's
After 2014, that's it? Joe
I mean, there's a lot of
Pavelski
other
has
stuff,
had that
but
name
that was
for way before that. I'm just being
All right,
I'm just
well,
being a pain. Anyway,
you know the real
Landon
Secretary of
Donovan, San
Defense.
Diego, go ahead.
okay. So that's cool. He's continuing his career in soccer. I know a lot of people knew that he was going to be involved with ownership, but didn't know how like in depth it was going to be. So congrats to him. Other stuff around USL, we have FC Buffalo, who have basically been given the go ahead from the league that you will have a team, but you got to build a downtown stadium. So they're requiring that they need to build a 10,000 seater, which is it's kind of high for USL, but I feel like the market could probably do that, especially with an established team that's currently playing in NPSL, I believe. So we might see soccer return to Western New York. And finally, as far as USL news goes, Colorado Springs got their stadium approved, and it makes me super sad that they're getting a stadium, like a soccer-specific stadium, before us. And it looks nice, and it's being funded by the commission, the city commission in the City for Champions Initiative Fund. And so they basically just have all that money available to them, so they can do whatever they want with it, including making a nice stadium.
Cool.
8,000 seater. So, maybe I might actually travel out there and check it out now.
I'm glad you have incentive to go now, Matt.
Yeah, right.
All right, let's do these stupid random thoughts and get out of here. Starting with Brad's stupid random thought. Brad, what is your stupid random thought?
Man, my stupid random thought this week, since I've already talked Pokemon.
I knew it. See,
and-
that's why I called
nope,
it that.
Nope, I'm moving on from that. Okay. I did my first escape room with
nice.
my roommates.
Yeah.
So much fun. We went to a new place, like opened like 3 weeks ago. They only have one room right now, which is odd, but it was a lot of fun. It's called Keystone Escape Rooms, kind of across the street from the old bowling alley on Keystone that's been unrenovated forever. But the Keystone Escape Room was absolutely fun. It has like a little steampunk theme, and the room that they have is kind of like a vampire escape. They gave us an hour, and for 6 of us, we beat it in half an hour, but I feel like we got a little lucky. Definitely challenging, definitely fun. If it was like 3 or 4 people in our group instead of 6, I don't know if we would have escaped, minus like the last 10 minutes. So it was a lot of fun. Go check them out. They're on Facebook, I believe. Keystone Escape Rooms. Definitely a fun place to go. I look forward to them. They have room for like 4 or 5 more rooms if they want. So definitely on the lookout for them to build some more stuff there.
Cool. All right, thanks, Brad. I always love when we support our local businesses. All right, Matt, what is your stupid random thought today?
Well, actually, I didn't have anything up until maybe like 20 seconds ago, and it actually does have to do with supporting local business. I know, as a lot of listeners know, that Mellow Fellow is kind of the place to go for like Battleborn Brigade. They're really good to us, and we go there for our pregame and everything like that. And the owner of Mellow Fellow, he will always accommodate us at the drop of a hat, and we wanted to go there for the USL final to watch all together. We got a good group of people, and they still provided the specials that they always have for us during match days. And he was just like, yeah, of course, come on down. How many are you going to have? No questions whatsoever. So go check out Mellow Fellow. They got amazing food, tons of beer on tap that's always changing out. And the owner, Ryan, all the bartenders, great people, and they just want to take care of you.
Fun fact, for all of those who don't remember, Mellow Fellow was the host of our very first podcast episode together, the 3 of us.
Yep.
So that's kind of
We gotta get back there.
Yeah, well, eventually we'll get back there. I'm not. It's not something I'm in a huge rush for, and it's something I would like to do a little bit closer this season with more people. Be like, hey, Battleborn Brigade, hey, Douglas Alley, we're gonna record this episode here. You guys want to show up? You can be on it. I think that sounds.
That would be super cool.
Yeah, I think that sounds like. Yeah, I've been putting thought into this, believe it or not.
What?
So okay,
Effort?
so my random thought today is I'm not giving any props to local businesses this week. I normally do. I just don't have anything today. Disney Plus, everybody.
You missed it last week.
It's
Hyping that.
oh, you know what? It did come out when you guys had the the last
Mhm.
episode. That's right.
That was both of our.
But
random
please tell
thoughts.
us your experiences. I want to hear it.
Star Wars. Just
Yee.
I have been like living and breathing Star Wars lately. Star Wars video games, Star Wars TV shows, Star Wars movies. So a whole bunch of Star Wars. I think I might just get a Star Wars tattoo to stay in the mood. Get a big old Darth Vader tattoo right here on my forearm. You guys think
That's
I'm
awesome.
yeah, you all think I'm kidding. But anyway, so we've got a couple people in the comments I want to give a shout out to. First of all, Roy, thanks for joining us as usual. And I think this may be a first for as far as, or maybe a second as far as the live watching or live viewing of the show. Carrie Gleedle, everybody, say hi.
Hello.
Hi there.
That was the what? That's what I get. Hey, hi.
Hi there. Hey,
How
what's
about,
up?
what's up,
How you
Carrie?
doing?
We sound like those like shy
How about
little
a
teenagers.
thank
Like,
you so much for joining us. Sheesh.
Matt first.
What do I have to do to wake you guys up?
We're in the wind down point, man. I already got all my energy out.
Hi, everybody.
Oh man. No, you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. And congratulations, Carrie, on your son with Menlo College.
Okay, you
Um,
scared me for a minute because I'm
what?
thinking.
She posted on the
No,
interweb.
no, that's great. Yes, congrats.
Yeah.
But it's you. It seemed like you were like,
Her
congrats
son
on.
plays for Menlo College, and I believe they won their championship for their division in soccer over the weekend. So just congrats. That is not creepy, John.
I never said it was creepy. I got scared because
Oh my gosh.
for reasons, okay, for reasons. Anyway, yeah, thanks guys so much for watching. Kind of a shorter episode today. Not a whole lot to talk about with the team not, playing right now. So there's that. And let's get the heck out of here, right? Brad, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Twitter at Pal in the Sky.
And for all of his
Just-
wrong opinions, you can check that out. Brad or Matt, where can we find you?
All right, you can find me on Reddit, mostly USL Pro, or on Twitter. My screen name is Raf Out Loud with underscores between each word. Got a new long form GIF out, so go check it
A
out.
long form GIF.
Yeah,
And that is the Monarchs one, right?
yeah. The
Look
Monarchs
out
one.
for that, ladies and gentlemen. This is the master of GIFs, Matt Rafferty. Everybody. He will be here
Oh, thank
hopefully
you.
for the rest of
Thank
his
you.
life after he signs a contract that I will mislead him with small print. And then, of course, me. You can find me on Twitter and on Facebook and everywhere else at John Macluso. But if you're watching right now, guys, be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you know when we're going live. Because it is kind of random, especially during the off season. Like today. It's Tuesday. And 1868 Weekly on Twitter. I can't talk. Also, will everyone remind Brad that the show was not called Reno 1868 Weekly? It's just called 1868 Weekly. All right, take us away, Brad. Who do we trust
All
in
right.
more than anyone?
Me? No. So
All right, Matt, who do we... No, I'm just kidding.
thank you guys. You can't give away my thing. So thank you guys for listening, watching, and doing everything that you do with us for the team. In Ian we trust. And
Vamos
Azules!
Azules!
See you guys. Catch you next week.
Bye, everybody.